Now this video is for Deborah at Omega. You'll have to excuse me, Deborah, I've got incredible hay fever this morning, but I'll try my best. Right, the first thing you do, I'll just move this video screen over. That's not part of your website. You log into the back of your site. Now what I always do is to have two tabs, one where I've logged in at the back and one the front of the site, just so that I can quickly see any edits that I've made and make sure they're right. Now unfortunately your site is actually much more complex in terms of editing yourself, and it's because of the different elements that we've got, like pictures behind images and text, in particular things like the testimonials, where you've got to have all of those images sized correctly, or in other words, you don't want them too wide because they'll start pushing things across too high. I mean, we have got quite a deep image there, which is, just get to it, the Shoot Consulting Limited, but you'll see it's the same width as the others, and you certainly don't want to go any higher than that because you'll start making more space. With images that are behind, with text displayed the way it is, if it was me, I would just concentrate on editing text, possibly images. You see, the system doesn't crop those images to those sizes for you, so you're going to have to learn or have an image editor where you can actually crop the images to exactly the sizes of the image that you're replacing, particularly these 6 here, and as I said, the logos, if you're going to add more of those. To find out the sizes of the images, in the back of your site, in the left hand side, we've got a media library. Just click on that and you'll find all the images that we've actually uploaded to your site. So for instance, what's one of those images on the front? Design It, which is this one. Now those images are 1500. When you click on it, it opens up with all the different details about the image. Over here you'll see the dimensions. Now these images are 1520 pixels wide by 1013 pixels deep. I would normally size them to exactly the right size because they're probably half of that, but as all of your images were in that format, if I was you, I would stick to that. So 1520 pixels high or deep, 1013 pixels wide. When you finish finding out the information that you need for images, just go up here, click the little X, and that will close it down. Right, let's go to pages. That's the only thing you need to really worry about on here. And as you know yourself, we've done it as pretty much a one-page website. I did make the others in case we ever expand on it or whatever. So look for the one that's got front page Divi, which is Design Consultants. Click on that title and that will open the page up. Now everything that is on the front of that site are in rows and columns and sections and modules. That's an image module, that's a text module. In the back of the site, you'll see that all reflected here in the boxes. The blue is the section that goes from one side of the screen to the other. So this is the top one, which has got the video behind it. You've then got rows. We've got one row with text in one column, which is this text here. You've got another row down here with text it goes across 2 columns, which is this text here. Now, one of the easiest ways to see this and to work with it is, instead of working with the boxes where you've got to open each one to see what's contained in it, up here you've got a desktop, a tablet and a mobile icon. If you click on desktop, you'll actually be able to see the site as you see it on the front of the page, really. Now, another thing to be careful of is the way that I've laid this out, because it isn't just a DIY templated website. Everything has been laid out specifically with the right padding and width and everything on these boxes. That's why I said, if you want to change anything, just change the text. Now, how you would do that is hover over things. The blue is the section, the green is the row itself, and if you hover over the text, it's the dark grey that's the module. So you open that up by clicking on that cog. You can either work in visual. Sometimes I do a little bit of both for that. We've got a bulleted list here. Whatever you do though, when you've finished, always go back to the text and save it there, because the visual is what you see is what you get, and it isn't always. When you've made an alteration or you've added something, you tick this little tick mark in the green box, and that will save the changes you've made there. But to save the whole page, you have to go to this green button and click save there. You'll see it's saving because you get the little circle going round, and then once it's done it, a lot of this time will be dependent on your internet speed as well. It will go back to the box layout, and up here you'll see page updated and view page. Well, the easiest way I do that is just go to the tab that I've got open on the front and refresh the page if I've actually made any changes. Okay, so basically, as you're only going to be changing text, images, these modules here are buttons, which you're probably not going to need to change those at all. Beware as well that when you make text, I mean, if you add more text to that, then it's going to be way deeper than the actual image on the other side. It's just trying to keep a balance in things. These are image modules. If you open one of those up, you'll see the image. If you want to change that, you click the image. It will open your media library up. You can either change it to an image that's already there, or upload files, select files, and bring one up from your computer. Again, if you were doing that and you wanted to save the image you've uploaded, this button down here in the right corner would be green, and you click on that as upload an image, and it will replace the image that you had there. I'm not going to do any of that, so I'll X that box out. It's just really to show you how that works. Now this is the most complex bit for you, really. It's the testimonial side, and basically it's a slider rather than an actual testimonial module. So I'll click that to open it, and you'll see slider settings. We've got all the companies here. If you want to add a new one, what I'd recommend doing, so that you've got the same settings as each of the ones previously, is on this last one, or the last one that you've done, you'll see this little box with a shadow of a box underneath. That means duplicate. So I would duplicate that. See, you get the exact same box there. Now I'd open the copy using the cog. It's always using the cog, and that's where you can change the text for the new module that you've added. Slide down here a little bit on image and video, and that's the image that's used as the logo. To change that, you do exactly as we did with the images. That's to click on it, get a new one from your media library or upload from your computer. Right, I'm going to delete that copy as we don't need it. But again, once you've finished with everything, you go to the green box with a tick to save the changes. Then you would go up to the top of the page to the green button there, and you click on save. And I think for the moment that's all there is really to explain to you. I could get into changing the backgrounds and things like that, but it's a lot more to it. That particularly these kind of boxes that slide up over it, because there are certain widths and padding and God knows what else that you have to apply to it. Now things like your contact us down here on the front of the site and your menu at the top aren't on that page because they're global. They're actually down here on the left hand side, Divi Theme Builder. And this is because these things are going to go over every page. When they're in green, which means universal, you have to be extra careful with these. You edit them by clicking on that pencil. And there, this is for the header, by the way. That gives you your logo and your menu. Your menu isn't changed in here, but these are the elements. You do exactly the same process as we did on the page, but you have to be more careful here, because with the pages, if anything goes wrong, I can normally get back the older version. With these elements, I can't. When you save on this one, you go down here, there's a purple button, click on that, and over to the right, and to the save button that you see there. And that's it basically for now. Again, always give me a shout if you need